Close your eyes for 1 second. Imagine you are sitting in a small office. Across the table, a manager is looking at your resume. She smiles. She says, "So, tell me about yourself." 3 seconds pass. 5 seconds. Your mind is completely empty. You know English. You studied it. But right now, in this chair, in this moment, does that sound comes out? If it does, you are not alone. And today, we fix this. Not next week. Today, hi, I'm Grace from EFL USA. This channel exists for one reason only: to give you real English for real American life. Not textbook English, not grammar you'll never use. English you can use the moment you need it. At the doctor, at the store, on the phone, and yes, in a job interview. Today's lesson is English for work and job interviews, and by the end of this video, you will be able to answer, "Tell me about yourself," with confidence, with course, without translating in your head first. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson. Let's begin. Let me tell you about Daniela. Daniela moved to the United States 8 months ago. Back home, she worked as an accountant for 6 years. She was good at her job. Numbers, spreadsheets, reports, all of that, no problem. But English? English was different. She studied English in school years ago, but nobody ever really made her speak it. She could read an email. She could understand a movie, most of the time, if the actors spoke slowly. But speaking out loud, in real time, to a real person, that was the part nobody prepared her for. 2 weeks ago, Daniela finally got the email she had been waiting for. A local company, a small accounting firm downtown, wanted to interview her. She read the email 3 times. Her hands were actually shaking a little, just from reading it. This was her chance. Not a big company, not a huge job, but a real chance, a real door opening in this new country. She prepared. Of course she prepared. She practiced saying her name clearly. She practiced saying the name of her old company. She looked up words like responsibilities and experience and wrote them on a small piece of paper. She felt ready, or she thought she felt ready. The morning of the interview, Daniela put on her best blazer, the beige one, the one she saved for important days. She took the bus early, 2 buses actually, because she didn't want to be late, not even by 1 minute. She arrived 20 minutes early and sat outside the office on a bench in the hallway. Going over her notes one more time, at exactly 10 o'clock, a woman opened the door. "Daniela, come on in." Daniela stood up, smiled, shook her hand. A firm handshake. She had practiced that too, and walked into a small office with a big window and a lot of natural light. She sat down across from the manager, whose name was Karen. Karen had a folder open in front of her, Daniela's resume inside it. Karen smiled warmly. "Thanks for coming in today, Daniela. Before we get into the details, why don't you just tell me a little about yourself?" And there it was. The question. The one question Daniela had somehow not fully prepared for because it felt too big, too open. Not, what is your experience with QuickBooks? Not, why do you want this job? Just, tell me about yourself. Daniela opened her mouth. Nothing came out for a second. Her brain was suddenly full of Spanish words, translating, searching, trying to build a perfect sentence before speaking a single word out loud. Karen waited, still smiling, patient, but Daniela could feel the silence stretching, feel her own heartbeat in her ears. I worked. Accounting. 6 years, Daniela finally said, her voice smaller than she wanted it to be. She stopped. She felt her face get warm. This wasn't how she imagined this moment. In her head, back home, in Spanish, she could tell this story beautifully. She could talk about her career, her goals, why she moved to this country, why this job mattered to her. But in English, under pressure, with a real person waiting, all of that disappeared and only broken pieces came out. Karen nodded kindly. "Take your time," she said. But those words, meant to help, actually made Daniela more nervous. Because now she knew Karen could tell. Karen could tell that this simple question, this question every single interview starts with, had caught Daniela completely off guard. Now, stop for a second with me. Think about this. Daniela knows accounting. Daniela is qualified. Daniela is not a bad candidate. The only thing standing between Daniela and that job in that exact moment is one skill: the ability to answer one very common question smoothly in English without freezing. And here's the truth. This is not just Daniela's story. This happens to thousands of people every single day in interviews all across America. Not because they don't know English, because nobody ever taught them how to answer this exact question in this exact situation with real, ready-to-use language. Today, that changes for you. Before we continue Daniela's story, and yes, we will find out what happens to her, let's do something important. Let's build the tools she was missing. Because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what to say when someone asks you, "Tell me about yourself," in a job interview, on the phone, anywhere. Let's start with the first group of words. These are essential words for job interviews in America. Listen first, then repeat. Word number 1, experience. Experience. Now you say it. Experience. Experience means the work you have done before, the things you have already learned by doing your job. It's a simple idea. Not your education, not your dreams, just what have you actually done? Here's an example. I have 5 years of experience in customer service. Listen again. I have 5 years of experience in customer service. Now you try. Pause the video for a second if you need to, and say the full sentence out loud. I have 5 years of experience in customer service. One more example. I don't have direct experience in this field, but I learn very quickly. Listen, I don't have direct experience in this field, but I learn very quickly. Now you say it. Good. That word, experience, will come up in almost every interview you will ever have in America. Get comfortable saying it. Word number 2, responsibilities. Listen, responsibilities. Say it with me. Responsibilities. Responsibilities means the tasks that are part of your job, the things you are supposed to do every day. It's a longer word, I know, but don't worry about saying it perfectly. Just get close and keep talking. Native speakers care much more about you communicating clearly than about perfect pronunciation. Example: my main responsibilities were managing invoices and preparing monthly reports. Listen again. My main responsibilities were managing invoices and preparing monthly reports. Your turn. Say the sentence. Second example. In this role, my responsibilities will include answering customer calls. Listen. In this role, my responsibilities will include answering customer calls. Now you, word number 3, qualifications. Listen. Qualifications. Repeat. Qualifications. Qualifications means the skills, the education, the certificates, everything that makes you the right person for a job. Think of it as your proof, the reason someone should hire you. Example: my qualifications include a degree in accounting and 6 years of professional experience. Listen. My qualifications include a degree in accounting and 6 years of professional experience.
Say it now.
Second example. What qualifications are you looking for in this position? Listen again and notice. This is a question you might ask them. What qualifications are you looking for in this position? Try it yourself. Word number 4, availability. Listen. Availability. Repeat. Availability. Availability means the days and times you are free to work. In America, this word comes up constantly, not just in interviews, but on the phone, in text messages from employers, everywhere. Example: my availability is Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Listen. My availability is Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Now you say it. Second example. What is your availability for the next 2 weeks? Listen. What is your availability for the next 2 weeks? Say it. Word number 5, strengths. Listen. Strengths. Say it. Strengths. Strengths simply means the things you are good at. In an interview, when someone asks about your strengths, they want to know, what makes you valuable? What do you do well? Example: one of my biggest strengths is attention to detail. Listen. One of my biggest strengths is attention to detail. Your turn. Second example. My strengths are communication and problem solving. Listen. My strengths are communication and problem solving. Say it out loud, even if you're alone right now. Speaking out loud, even to your phone or your laptop screen, trains your mouth and your brain together. That's how fluency actually gets built. Not by reading silently, but by speaking again and again until it feels normal. Now, let's put these 5 words together in one short, natural mini story. The exact kind of thing you might say inside a real interview. Listen to the whole thing first, all the way through without stopping. I have 6 years of experience in accounting. My main responsibilities, my main financial reports, preparing financial reports, and managing client accounts. I believe my qualifications, along with my strengths in accuracy and communication, make me a strong fit for this role. My availability is flexible, and I'm ready to start as soon as possible. That's it. 5 sentences. 5 of our new words, used naturally, the way a real person would actually say them in a real interview. Now, let's shadow it. That means listen to each sentence and repeat it right after, trying to copy the rhythm, not just the words. I have 6 years of experience in accounting. Your turn. My main responsibilities included preparing financial reports and managing client accounts. Your turn. I believe my qualifications, along with my strengths in accuracy and communication, make me a strong fit for this role. Your turn. Yes. That one's longer. Take your time. Break it into pieces if you need to. My availability is flexible, and I'm ready to start as soon as possible. Your turn. Wonderful. You just said 5 real interview sentences out loud. That's not nothing. That's exactly the kind of practice that changes how your mouth and brain work together under pressure, which is exactly what Daniela needed in that office with Karen. Let's go back to Daniela for a moment. After that awkward, broken first answer, Karen didn't give up on her. Karen tried a smaller, more specific question. Okay, no problem. Let's try this. Can you tell me about your most recent job? What did you do there day to day? This question was smaller, more concrete, and Daniela felt a tiny bit of relief. This, she could answer, at least a little better. I worked at an accounting company. I did invoices and reports every month. Still broken. Still simple. But at least words were coming out now. Karen nodded, writing something down. Daniela couldn't see what she wrote, and, honestly, she was a little afraid to know. Was Karen writing not confident enough? Was she writing communication is a concern? Daniela's heart was pounding, and the interview had barely started. Here's something important I want you to notice about this story, and about your own life, too. The fear of speaking often feels bigger than the actual mistake. Daniela's English wasn't terrible. Her sentences were short and simple. Yes, but Karen could understand every single word. The real problem wasn't her English level. It was, that Daniela had never practiced saying these specific things out loud, under real pressure, before this moment. Her first time trying was in the actual interview. And that is exactly what we're fixing today, together, right now. Before you ever walk into a room like that one, let's add one more layer to Daniela's toolkit. And yours. This time, let's learn how to actually structure a full answer to "Tell me about yourself," so you never have to freeze the way she did. Here is the simple pattern, 3 parts, and that's genuinely all you need. Part 1, past. What did you do before? Your last job, your experience. Part 2, present. What are you doing now, or why are you here right now in this interview? Part 3. Future. What do you want next? Why this job? Why this company? Past, present, future. 3 simple parts. Let's build one sentence for each part, using Daniela's exact situation, so you can hear how simple, natural language fills each part. Past. I worked as an accountant for 6 years in my home country. Listen again. I worked as an accountant for 6 years in my home country. Say it. Present. Now I'm looking for an opportunity here in the United States to continue using my skills. Listen. Now I'm looking for an opportunity here in the United States to continue using my skills. Say it. Future. I'm excited about this position because it would let me grow in a new environment while using everything I already know. Listen. I'm excited about this position because it would let me grow in a new environment while using everything I already know. Now you. Put all 3 together and listen to the complete answer. Start to finish. I worked as an accountant for 6 years in my home country. Now, I'm looking for an opportunity here in the United States to continue using my skills. I'm excited about this position because it would let me grow in a new environment while using everything I already know. That's a complete, confident, natural answer to tell me about yourself. 3 sentences. Past, present, future. No complicated grammar, no advanced vocabulary. Just structure. A structure your brain can hold on to, even when you're nervous, even when your heart is racing the way Daniela's was. Let's shadow the full answer together one more time so it really sinks in. I worked as an accountant for 6 years in my home country. Your turn. Now I'm looking for an opportunity here in the United States to continue using my skills. Your turn. I'm excited about this position because it would let me grow in a new environment while using everything I already know. Your turn. Excellent work. Say this to yourself. Genuinely say it out loud. I can do this. Because you can. The structure is simple. Past, present, future. That's your map, so you never have to stand in silence the way Daniela did. Now, back to Daniela, because her story isn't finished yet. And what happens next is exactly the moment I want you to remember. Every single time you feel nervous before speaking English, after the shaky start, Karen looked up from her notes and asked one more question. Question, gently. Daniela, can I ask, how long have you been in the United States? 8 months, Daniela answered, a little more clearly this time. Karen smiled and her voice softened. 8 months is not long at all. Honestly, your English is better than you think it is right now. You're just nervous. Take a breath. Let's start over, slower. Tell me about your work back home. Just talk to me, like we're having a normal conversation, not an interview. Something shifted in Daniela in that moment. The pressure in her chest loosened just slightly. She took a breath, like Karen said, and this time, instead of trying to build a perfect sentence in her head first, she just started talking. Okay, Daniela said. So, back home, I worked for a company called Contadores Group. It's an accounting firm. I was there 6 years. My job was I checked invoices, I prepared reports every month for our clients, and I also trained 2 new employees last year. She paused, but this time, the pause felt different. Not empty, not frozen, just a natural breath before continuing. It's hard for me to explain everything in English still, but I really do know this work very well. Karen nodded, and this time, she was smiling. A real smile, not just a polite one. That's exactly what I needed to hear, Daniela. Honestly, that was clear, and I can tell you know your field. Don't worry so much about perfect grammar. I understood everything you just said. Daniela felt something loosen in her shoulders. Something she hadn't even realized was tight until that exact moment. For the first time since walking into that office, she felt like maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a disaster after all. Karen leaned back in her chair slightly. Let's keep going. Can you tell me? What would you say is your biggest strength? What are you really good at in your work? Daniela paused, but only for a second this time, not the long, frozen silence from before. She thought about the word strengths, a word she genuinely didn't know well in English before today, but let's practice it again together right now, because this is exactly the kind of word that shows up again and again in real interviews, and I want it locked into your memory permanently. Listen. Strengths. Say it. Strengths. My biggest strength is attention to detail, Daniela said slowly, choosing her words carefully. In accounting, if you make a small mistake, it can become a big problem later. So I always check my work 2 times, sometimes 3 times, before I send it. Karen nodded, clearly impressed. That's a great answer. Attention to detail is exactly what we need for this role. She made another note, and this time, Daniela didn't feel afraid of what was being written down. Let's pause the story here for a second. Because I want to teach you something Daniela just did without even realizing it. Something incredibly powerful for any interview, any conversation, any moment where English feels hard. She didn't just say attention to detail. She explained why it matters with a simple example. That's a technique, and it has a name, but don't worry about the name. Just remember the pattern. Claim, then example. Say what you're good at, then give one small, real example that proves it. Let's practice this pattern with a new set of words. Words specifically for talking about your strengths and skills in a job interview. Word number 6, reliable. Listen, reliable. Say it, reliable. Reliable means people can count on you. You show up. You do what you say you'll do every time. Example. My manager always said I was reliable because I never missed a deadline. Listen again. My manager always said I was reliable because I never missed a deadline. Now you say it. Second example. Using the claim then example pattern we just learned. I'm very reliable. For example, in my last job, I was never late, not even one time in 3 years. Listen, I'm very reliable. For example, in my last job, I was never late, not even one time in 3 years. Your turn. Word number 7. Teamwork. Listen. Teamwork. Repeat. Teamwork. Teamwork means working well together with other people toward a shared goal. Example. I really enjoy teamwork. I like helping my coworkers when they need support. Listen. I really enjoy teamwork. I like helping my coworkers when they need support. Say it now. Second example. Teamwork was a big part of my last job because we all shared the same clients. Listen. Teamwork was a big part of my last job because we all shared the same clients. Your turn. Word number 8. Deadline. Listen. Deadline. Say it. Deadline. A deadline is the date or time when something must be finished. This word is everywhere in American workplaces. You will hear it constantly. Example. I always meet my deadlines, even when the work is difficult. Listen. I always meet my deadlines, even when the work is difficult. Your turn. Second example. What's the deadline for this project? Listen. What's the deadline for this project? Say it. Notice. This is a question you could ask your future boss. Word number 9. Flexible. Listen. Flexible. Repeat. Flexible. Flexible means you can adapt, you can change your schedule or your approach when needed. Example. I'm flexible with my schedule. I can work mornings or evenings. Listen. I'm flexible with my schedule. I can work mornings or evenings. Your turn. Second example. Are you flexible with the start date? Listen. Are you flexible with the start date? Say it. Word number 10. Opportunity. Listen. Opportunity. Say it. Opportunity. An opportunity is a chance, a door opening for something good, something new. Example. This job would be a great opportunity for me to grow professionally. Listen. This job would be a great opportunity for me to grow professionally. Your turn. Second example. Thank you for this opportunity to interview with you today. Listen. Again. Thank you for this opportunity to interview with you today. Say it. And remember this sentence because it's a genuinely useful thing to say near the end of any interview in America. Now, let's combine all 5 of these new words. Reliable, teamwork, deadline, flexible, opportunity, into one connected mini story the same way we did before. Listen to the whole thing first, all the way through. I'm known for being reliable. For example, I never missed a deadline in 3 years at my last job. I also value teamwork, and I always try to support my coworkers when they're busy. I'm flexible with my schedule, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to speak with you today. Beautiful. Let's shadow it. Sentence by sentence. I'm known for being reliable. For example, I never missed a deadline in 3 years at my last job. Your turn. I also value teamwork, and I always try to support my coworkers when they're busy. Your turn. I'm flexible with my schedule, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to speak with you today. Your turn. That's 10 essential interview words now. fully practiced, fully spoken out loud by you. Experience, responsibilities, qualifications, availability, strengths, reliable, teamwork, deadline, flexible, opportunity. 10 words, real words. Words that show up in almost every single job interview conducted in English, anywhere in America. Let's go back to Daniela one more time. The interview continued for about 15 more minutes. Karen asked about her experience with specific accounting software. Daniela knew the programs, just not always the English names for them, so there were a few small stumbles, a few, how do you say, moments. But something had changed. Daniela wasn't frozen anymore. She was talking even when she didn't have the perfect word, even when her grammar wasn't flawless. She was communicating and communicating. It turns out, matters far more than perfection. Near the end, Karen asked one final question. Daniela, do you have any questions for me? This is a moment I want to highlight for you because so many people forget to prepare for it. And it happens in almost every single interview in America, right near the end. Do you have any questions for me? If you say no, it can sometimes make you seem less interested in the job. So, let's learn a simple, natural question you can ask right now. Listen, what does success look like in this role during the first few months? That's a strong, natural question. Listen again. What does success look like in this role during the first few months? Now, I know that sentence is a little longer, a little more advanced. So let's break it down and practice it slowly. What does success look like? Say it in this role. Say it. During the first few months? Say it. Now the whole sentence together. What does success look like in this role during the first few months? Your turn. Take your time. Say the whole thing. If that feels too advanced right now, here's a simpler version you can use instead, and it works just as well. Listen. What are the next steps in the hiring process? Say it. What are the next steps in the hiring process? This question is short. It's clear, and it shows genuine interest. Plus, it gives you useful information because now you'll actually know when to expect an answer instead of waiting anxiously by your phone with no idea what's happening. Daniela asked exactly this question. What are the next steps in the hiring process? She said, and this time, her voice was steady, clear, confident, nothing like the shaking voice from the beginning of the interview. Karen smiled. Great question. We're interviewing a few more candidates this week, and we'll make a decision by early next week. I'll email you either way, with good news or just an update. She stood up, and Daniela stood up too, and they shook hands again. This time, Daniela's hand wasn't shaking at all. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Daniela said, and she meant every word. Walking out of that office, into the hallway, then out onto the street, Daniela felt something she hadn't expected to feel. Not relief exactly, not yet, but something close to pride. She had frozen. She had stumbled. Her English hadn't been perfect, not even close to perfect, but she had kept going. She had used real sentences, real structure, and by the end, she had sounded like herself. A professional, capable woman who simply happened to be speaking her second language. Now, let's pause here and let's talk directly to you for a moment, because I want you to really absorb what happened in Daniela's story. And I want you to think about your own life for a second. What about you? Have you ever frozen in a moment like this? Not just in a job interview, but anywhere? On the phone with a company? At a doctor's office? Talking to your child's teacher? That freeze, that sudden emptiness in your mind, isn't about your intelligence, and it isn't really even about your English level. It's about experience, real, spoken, out loud experience with the exact words and exact situations you'll actually face. And that experience is exactly what we're building together right now. In this video, let's keep building. Let's move into a faster round now. A pattern drill where we practice quick, flexible sentence patterns you can use in almost any interview for almost any question. These are patterns like little machines. You can plug in different words and the sentence still works. Part 1. I have amount of time of experience in field. Listen to some examples. I have 3 years of experience in retail. I have 10 years of experience in construction. I have 1 year of experience in customer service, but I'm a very fast learner. Now you try. Pause for a moment and say your own sentence using your own real experience, using this exact pattern. I have of experience in. Pattern 2. My main responsibility was task. Examples. My main responsibility was managing the front desk. My main responsibility was training new employees. My main responsibility was handling customer complaints. Your turn. Say your own sentence using this pattern about your own real job history. Part 3. I'm looking for a position where I can goal. Examples. I'm looking for a position where I can use my organizational skills. I'm looking for a position where I can grow and learn new things. I'm looking for a position where I can help people directly. Say your own sentence now using this pattern. Part 4. One thing I'm proud of is achievement. Examples. One thing I'm proud of is training 2 new employees successfully. One thing I'm proud of is improving our customer satisfaction scores. One thing I'm proud of is learning a completely new industry in just 1 year. Your turn. Say your own sentence. Part 5. I'm available to start time frame. Examples. I'm available to start immediately. I'm available to start next Monday. I'm available to start in 2 weeks after I finish my current job. Say it now, with your own real availability. 5 flexible patterns, ready to use, ready to adapt to your own real life, your own real story. This is what real fluency looks like. Not memorizing one perfect script, but having flexible tools you can shape into whatever you actually need to say. In the moment, under real pressure. Let's do one more full round of shadowing, combining everything: vocabulary, structure, and patterns, into one complete, natural interview answer, start to finish. The kind of answer that would make any interviewer anywhere in America feel confident in hiring you. Listen to the whole thing first, all the way through, without stopping. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have 6 years of experience in accounting, and my main responsibilities included preparing financial reports and managing client accounts. I'm known for being reliable. I never missed a deadline in 3 years, and I really value teamwork and supporting my coworkers. I'm looking for a position where I can continue growing professionally, and I'm available to start as soon as needed. Needsprischen. One thing I'm proud of is training 2 new employees last year, and I believe that same dedication would make me a strong addition to your team. That is a genuinely excellent interview answer. Clear, structured, natural, and completely built from words and patterns you have now practiced out loud multiple times in this exact video. Let's shadow the whole thing together one final time, piece by piece. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Your turn. I have 6 years of experience in accounting, and my main responsibilities included preparing financial reports and managing client accounts. Your turn. I'm known for being reliable. I never missed a deadline in 3 years, and I really value teamwork and supporting my coworkers. Your turn. I'm looking for a position where I can continue growing professionally, and I'm available to start as soon as needed. Your turn. One thing I'm proud of is training 2 new employees last year, and I believe that same dedication would make me a strong addition to your team. Your turn. Say the entire answer one more time, all the way through, out loud, as if you were sitting in that office chair yourself, across from Karen. Ready? Prepared. Calm. Take a breath and say it. Beautifully done. Let's go back to Daniela one final time, because there's one more part of her story I need to tell you. The part that ties everything together. 5 days after the interview, Daniela was at home making dinner when her phone buzzed. An email notification. She almost didn't check it right away. After 5 days of waiting, checking her phone constantly, she had started to feel a strange mix of hope and exhaustion. But something made her stop and look. The subject line said, "Job offer, Contadores Group. No wait." She blinked and read it again, slower this time. Job offer, accounting position. Her heart jumped. She opened the email standing right there in her kitchen, spoon still in her other hand, and read every single word. Twice. Karen had written a warm, personal message. She said the team was impressed with Daniela's experience and her clear communication during the interview. She said Daniela's attention to detail and the story about training 2 new employees had really stood out among all the candidates they interviewed that week. She offered Daniela the position, starting in 2 weeks, with full benefits. Daniela set the spoon down. She sat down at her kitchen table, alone, and just breathed for a moment. 8 months in a new country. 8 months of small, hard moments. Grocery store confusion. Phone calls she was afraid to answer. Forms she didn't fully understand. And one very difficult, very human interview where her English had cracked under pressure for the first few minutes. And now, this. A real job. A real yes. She thought about that frozen moment at the beginning of the interview. When Karen asked, "Tell me about yourself," and nothing came out. She thought about how close she had come, in her own mind at least, to believing that moment meant she wasn't ready, that maybe she wasn't good enough yet, that maybe she needed to wait longer before trying again. But she hadn't given up in that chair. She had taken a breath. She had used simple words, simple structure. Past, present, future. And she had let her real knowledge and real experience speak. Even through imperfect grammar, even through nervous pauses, and that had been enough. More than enough, this is exactly what I want you to remember long after this video ends. You do not need perfect English to succeed in a real American interview, a real American workplace, a real American life. You need clear communication. You need structure you can rely on even when you're nervous. You need real words for real situations. The exact words we've been practicing together today. And you need the courage to keep talking, even after a stumble, the way Daniela did. Let's do a final review now. A complete review of everything we've built together in this lesson, because repetition is what turns "I learned this once" into "I know this, I own this, this is mine now." Let's review our 10 essential job interview words. I'll say the word and its simple meaning, and I want you to say the word back to me, out loud, before we move to the next one. Experience, the work you've done before. Say it. Experience. Responsibilities. The tasks that are part of your job. Say it. Responsibilities. Qualifications. The skills and proof that make you right for a job. Say it. Qualifications. Of availability. The days and times you can work. Say it. Availability. Strengths. The things you're good at. Say it. Strengths. Reliable. Someone people can count on. Say it. Reliable. Teamwork. Working well together with others. Say it. Teamwork. Deadline. The time something must be finished by. Say it. Deadline. Flexible. Able to adapt and change. Say it. Flexible. Opportunity. A chance. A door opening. Say it. Opportunity. 10 words. Say all 10 again, quickly, one after another, out loud, right now. Experience, responsibilities, qualifications, availability, strengths, reliable, teamwork, deadline, flexible, opportunity. Wonderful. Now let's review our 3-part answer structure for "Tell me about yourself." Say each part with me. Part 1, past. What did you do before? Part 2, present. What are you doing now? Part 3, future. What do you want next? Past, present, future. 3 simple words that can save you from freezing, the way Daniela almost did, in any interview, in any country, in any language. And let's review our 5 flexible sentence patterns. One more time, quickly. I have amount of time, of experience in field. My main responsibility was task. I'm looking for a position where I can goal. One thing I'm proud of is achievement. I'm available to start time frame. 5 patterns, 10 words, 3-part structure. That is genuinely everything you need to walk into your own interview, whenever it comes, with far more confidence than Daniela had walking into hers. Now, let's do one last thing together. A quick reflex round, faster than before. No explanations this time, just pure speed practice. I'll say a question, the exact kind of question you might hear in a real interview, and I want you to answer it immediately, out loud, using anything we practice today. Don't worry about being perfect. Just speak. Ready? Tell me about yourself. Answer now, out loud. What's your biggest strength? Answer now. Why do you want this job? Answer now. What is your availability? Answer. Answer now. Do you have any questions for me? Did you notice something? The second time through, it was faster, wasn't it? A little easier? A little less scary? That's not an accident. That's exactly how real fluency gets built, one small repetition at a time, one out loud sentence at a time, until the words simply exist in you. Ready, whenever you need them, without translating first, without freezing. I want to say something directly to you now, the same way Karen spoke to Daniela in that office. If you are learning English right now, while raising a family, while working long hours, while starting completely over in a new country, you are already doing something incredibly difficult, incredibly brave. The freeze you might feel sometimes, the empty silence when someone asks you a simple question, doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means you haven't had enough real spoken practice yet with that exact situation. And that's fixable. That's exactly what we do here together. Every single lesson. Next time you're in an interview and someone says, "So, tell me about yourself," I want you to remember this video. I want you to remember Daniela sitting in that chair, frozen for just a moment, and then finding her way back, one honest sentence at a time. I want you to remember past, present, future. I want you to remember your 10 words, ready and waiting. And I want you to remember that a stumble at the beginning is not the end of the story. Sometimes it's just the beginning of a very good one. If you practiced along with me today, if you said the words out loud, if you tried the sentences, even quietly, even nervously, go to the comments and write, "Job interview lesson done. I'm ready." I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know how this is going for you. Next time, we'll move to a completely different situation. The doctor's office, and exactly what to say when you don't understand your prescription or when you're worried about a side effect and don't know how to explain it. And that's a conversation that can feel even scarier than a job interview, and I'll be right here to help you through it. the same way we did today. Thank you for practicing with me. Keep speaking, keep showing up, and I will see you in the next lesson.